Hello friends, welcome to the fourth session of the Hybris learning. In this session, we will learn about the Hybris Impex, how Hybris Impex works and what is the use of Hybris Impex. So we will learn all these concepts in this video. So firstly, I will show you what is Hybris Impex. So if we go to the HSC, so this is the HSC and I have already done the login with the credentials admin and password as NIMDA. So I have already done the login in my local setup. So in our previous session, we had already done the B2C acceleration setup. In case you have not done that setup, you can see my previous video. The link of that video is given in the description box as well as on the top right in the card section as well. So you can visit that video and follow the steps, and then you can set up the B2C accelerator in your system. Don't worry about the accelerator term. I will explain this term in my upcoming videos, but for now just think it like you are setting up a website, Hybris website at your local system. So we have already done the setup in our previous video for a Hybris website, and I had given a brief overview for these Hybris consoles. Like this is the HSC and this one is the Backoffice. I will be creating a separate videos for giving the complete overview or complete detailed description of these cockpits in a separate video. But for now, you should know this is a HSC, Hybris admin console, and this is the Backoffice, and both tools are used for admin purposes. So we will be using these tools in our current video. So I am already logged into HSC. So if you go to the platform, monitoring, maintenance, console tabs, there will be different options available here. But if I go to console tab, you will see there are two options. Either you can import or Impex, or you can do Impex export. So if I click on the Impex import button, then it lands on this window. So firstly the question is, what is Impex? What do you mean by Impex? So Impex stands for the import and export. So let me give you an example. So if I go on console and then flexible search, so this UI gets opened. So what I do here I generally write a query. Like in the Java system, we write a query in either in MySQL or in Oracle DB, we write SQL queries. In the similar way, we write the Hybris queries here in the flexible queries section. So I will be creating a separate video for describing the flexible query, but for now I will just write a simple query, like I am writing a query select star from employee. What I am doing here, I am just extracting the data in the table employee. So don't worry about these curly bracket. This is the syntax of writing a flexible query in the Hybris, which I will be explaining in my future videos. But for now, I have fired this query, and you can see the result has come. So multiple type of data is there. We have a PK means unique identifier. So every table has a unique identifier, which is the must for every table. So this PK is unique identifier, and there are other things as well, like name, UID, and all these things, right? So it means this is the data for multiple employees. So like one employee is admin employee, or there can be a CMS manager or any manager, right? So but if I want to insert another data or another row in this table, so how can I do that? How can I do that at runtime in the Hybris? So this is the one use of Impex. With the Impex, I can import data in this table or in any table in Hybris. I have taken the example of employee table here, but you can import the data in any Hybris table by using the Impex, which I will be explaining now to you. So now I will go back to the console Impex import, but I think now you have understood what is the utilization of Impex import. Through the Impex import, we will be importing the data inside this table. So either we will be inserting new data or we will be updating new data. Like its description is currently admin description, I can change its name, right? I can update the value of this column. So this operation will also be done through a Impex. Or if I want to remove this row, that operation can also be done through a Impex. So through Impex, what I can do, either I can create a new row in this table, or I can update an existing value, or I can remove this row. So three type of operations can be done through a Impex. So let's now go back to a Impex import and let's see how this operation is done. I will take one example of Impex, then I will give you the complete details how this Impex looks like. So guys, the example of Impex is this. So what I will do here, I will copy this in the Notepad++ so that you can understand this better. So what I am doing here, I will be doing an insert update operation on the employee table. Okay, so and these all are the columns for which I am updating a value. So currently what I am doing, I am just inserting a new row. Let me change its value. Say this is, I will be explaining what all these syntax means, but if I show you, let's copy this. If I show you, this is the UID. So currently the UID value is 00052. So firstly, let's see if this value exists in the database or in the employee table currently or not. So what I will go do, I will go to the console and then flexible search, and then I will make a query to see whether this data currently exists or not. Then we will be firing this query again when I do the Impex import. So I am showing you all these things practically. Hope you will understand better through this. So what I am doing here, select start from employee, where UID is equal to this, right? So this is the data, right? We wanted to insert, and currently I am expecting this data should not exist in our table, and you can see the result is 0. This means this data is not there in our current employee table. But when I will run this Impex, so then I will run this query again. So what we will do, I will just copy this query in my Notepad++, and when we will run this Impex, and this Impex import has been finished, after that we will run this query again and we'll see whether this data is created in this table or not. So I have copied this Impex and I am running it in the console and then Impex import section. So if I just import this, firstly there are two things, validate content and import content. I will be explaining these things in detail later on, but for now I am validating the content. It is saying script is valid, but then I will be importing the content as well. So now what it is doing, it is penetrating the data or inserting the data in the employee table. So you can see import finished has been successfully, import has been successfully finished. So now I will go back to flexible search and will now see whether this data has been created in employee table or not. So let's copy that flexible query again. And if you remember previously we had got 0 results in this table. Now since we have imported the data through this Impex, so a new row should be created and we should get the results. Let's see. So if I am clicking on the execute button, so you can see now the data has been created or a new row has been created. You can see all these details are here. Okay, so now let me explain this Impex in the detail. So in this Impex there are basically 4 type of data. The first one is mode. Mode is this operation, whether you are inserting a new data or you are updating or what you are doing. So I will be writing this again. So firstly I showed you we can insert a new row. It means we can insert a new data inside any table, or we can update an existing row. It means we can do update operation and then we can remove a new data, so we can do remove operation. So third one mode is insert update, which I have used in this table. So insert update means if this unique ID is present already there and if you are changing its value, like insert here my first Impex import learning, I am just writing it updated, so it will just update this existing row. So but if it doesn't find any unique ID with this number, then it will create a new data or create a new row. So I hope you understand this insert and update operation. But in the insert operation means we are inserting a new data inside a table. So if I am writing like now I have inserted this data with a unique ID 00052, but if I am simply writing this insert employee this, and if I try to run this Impex now, and just remember we have already imported this data, right? So if I am trying to run this, you will see that this will throw error. So I will just do validate content and then I will run this import content, and you can see it has thrown errors. So why it has thrown errors? Because it is expecting, or this operation is expecting, insert operation is expecting that this data should not exist. If it is already existing, then it will throw error. Similarly, the update operations is valid only if we have this data already in our database. Like I am just running this and it will work, right? Because this unique identifier is already there, so this will work. But if I am changing this value to 53, which is not present in our employee database currently, then it will throw an error because we are updating a value which actually doesn't exist in our system. So now you understand what is insert operation and update operation, and when these operations will throw an error. But the best thing about the insert update operation is that these operation will not throw error. So it is just looking for, if the data is not there in DB, then it will create a new data in the DB. But if data is there, it will just simply update the value. So I hope now you understand all these operations very clearly. Okay, so now you are clear for this portion. And now the second thing is, so I will write like this. The first is mode, and then second is type. So this is called as type. So you should be aware of these terminologies as well, because in the interview questions as well, they just ask what is a mode in the Impex. So you should know what is mode. These are the 4 valid modes in any Impex. Okay, so second one is the type. So type is basically an object of a table, right? So this is an employee. Employee means we have a table in our database. Like currently we have HSQL database. We had done the setup of HSQL database during the B2C Accelerator setup. I had told you to check in the data folder during the setup. So we have HSQL database. So in that database we have employee table. So this is the corresponding object of that employee in the Impex. So this is called as a type. So here we are doing insert update operation on table employee. And now in the employee table, if I show you the employee table, I'm going to console and then flexible search. Just remember, you should have B2C Accelerator installed in case you want to do the practice of these things in your system as well. So if you have not done the setup yet, you can take the help from my video. Okay, so I am going to the employee table and will show you what all columns exist in this table. So you can see in this employee table, I have a description column, right? I have a name column, I have a UID column. So you can see this is the employee table and this is the UID. I will be explaining this thing later on, but this is one column, UID column, and this is second column, name column, and after semicolon we have another column, description, and then this is the password column. You can see we have a password column. Yeah, this is the password. This is the encoded password. It is not a simple password. This is the password column. So likewise, this is the section language, and then this is the groups. Likewise, we are mentioning the columns. The columns whose value we want to update or we want to insert. So these are basically columns. In the Impex, these are called as attributes. So third thing is attributes. For example, UID or name or description, right? These are the columns we are using in this Impex. Password, and then we have session language, right? So I just want to show you one thing. So we have this session language, and which has given the value of ISO code, right? So here I am just giving the value of EN. Its value is EN, which I had given in this Impex. So why I am writing something like this session language and then this bracket and then ISO code? Why I am not writing something like this? So why I have written something like this? So for that, firstly I will see how the session language looks like in our database. So you can see the session language is not the like EN or something like which we are importing in our Impex. We are just importing the word EN. So let's see our data which we had imported. So guys, this video length will be a bit large, but I think it is necessary if you want to learn all the concepts in detail. So you can see now the session language value is this, right? So it is not the one which we had imported, but I think now you have got the clue why we are using something like this, session language and then ISO code. So it means we are not giving the value, giving this value in our Impex. We are using a object of session language. So this is the object of language. So and this is the PK reference, but we are just inserting the object in our Impex. So we are giving the input as ISO code. Let me explain you more about this. So I'm saying the session language value here is this PK value, right? We have not given the value of we are not seeing the en value which we inserted in the Impex. So ideally, what is this? So this is the PK of a language, right, whose value is en. So what I will do, I will go to the language table where PK is this, right? So you will see this record will be existing in the language table, right? So this record is there in the language table and its ISO code value is en, and this is what I have mentioned in my Impex. So what I am doing, I am writing the value of session language and its value ISO code. So that is why I have given the ISO code value as en. So I think now it is better for you to understand, it is clear for you why I have used this bracket here, why I have not used a simple word password like we are using simple word password, why I have not used simple word session language. So because we are referring here an object, that is why I have used this. So if you don't want to give the name ISO code and you want to give something like what you want to do, I don't think there is any other I don't think there is any other unique parameter for this, right? So either you can use this word if you want to insert, so you need to write something like this PK and then you need to give value, directly the value of PK, then it will also work. But I think now you understand why we are using this ISO code in the bracket, right? So similar way, the groups we are using, this is also an object, that is why we have used like this, right? So I think now it is clear for you. For an Impex, we have first one is the mode, then we have a type, and then we have multiple attributes. So guys, this first row is called as header. So this first row is called as header, right? So Impex has basically two parts. Impex has basically two parts. First one is header, second one is this part. So this part is called as values, this part is called as values. So this one is the thing left which I need to explain. So this is the modifier, we call it as a modifier. So first one I told you mode, and then we have a second thing is employee is a type, and then third we have attributes. Now the fourth thing is called as modifier, right? So I am writing the fourth thing, and all these things comes in the header section, right? This is the header, first row is the header. So in the header we have four main things. Then we will talk about the values as well, of course, but for now we are just focusing on the header, right? So what is modifier? So modifier is, so firstly in every table, once you want to update any table or update any row in a table, or you want to remove any row in a table, you need to give a unique parameter against which row you want to do that operation, right? So for that, like this is a table, say select star from employee, right? So if I just fire this query, we call it as a flexible query in Hybris. So right, we have got multiple rows in this table, right? So you want to do operation on which table? So you want to specify, okay, I am doing the operation on this row, or I am doing the operation on this row, or I am doing the operation in this row. That is why you need a unique parameter, right? So like here the unique parameter is UID. So it is saying this UID is the unique parameter. It means if one row has a value admin, so no other row will have a value as admin. So that is why it is declaring this this column as a unique parameter of this employee table, right? So this thing declaration is called as a modifier, right? So this unique is equal to true is one modifier, and the second is allow null is equal to false. This is also another modifier. This means this parameter value cannot be null, which means this column value can't be null in any scenario. If you are putting this value as a null, then it will throw an error. So let's take an example. What I will do, I will be just changing the value like this. I will be removing this. I'm just showing you, like, if I keep the value as a null, then what will happen. So I was saying this is the UID, so I will just keep it as a blank, and then we'll try to run this Impex. Let's see how it goes. So you can see if I try to run this Impex, it is showing as valid, but if I try to insert the data, it is showing as encounter problem. So, and the error is value is null for the mandatory attribute. So because I have declared this unique is equal to true and allow null is equal to false, so that is why this value should not be null. That is why it has thrown error. So now you understand what this unique allow null is equal to false modifier means. So now I think you should understand what is the modifier thing. So modifier can be declared in multiple ways. So like on this UID, I have applied two modifiers. One is this should be unique, this column should be unique. Second is this value should be non-null, right? This value should be non-null. So either I can write in this way by separating this in the comma, or what I can do, I can write it in this way as well, comma separated and then square. I mean both modifiers separately by a comma, separated by a comma, and both modifiers enclosing in a square bracket, right? So these are the two ways of writing a modifier, either by writing both modifiers comma separated in a square bracket, or by writing the both modifiers separate in square brackets. So this is all about the modifier, right? So I have used this allow null is equal to true modifier here in the description column, and I have used one more modifier, groups mode is equal to append, right? So what this mode is equal to append means, if I am appending right now, I am appending the group as admin group. If I want to add a new group with this employee, then that will also get added. I will explain you. So now I am coming to the second row. This is called as values section. The first section was header section, of course. This section was called as a header section. This was header section. Now I am explaining you the value section and how this is written, how we write the values. So we will be explaining now you the value section. So how we write, so the when we are writing the value section, the first syntax should be the semicolon. So first thing we write the semicolon, and then let's see, so this is the mode and then this is the type. So this is the first attribute, right? So we are writing the value of first attribute here, and then by comma separated, right? So this is semicolon separated. Second attribute was our name, so name value is Amandeep, and third is description, which is also of course in the header section as well is semicolon separated, and in the value section as well the semicolon separated value is my first Impex import line. And then we have a password. So if you see the password here is Hybris, which I have just kept. And then session language value is of course en, and I explained why its value is en here, why the value of pk is not written here, because we are declaring the value of object, and what type of, and what is this value en? It is the value of language table, and the column name is ISO code. That's why this is the that value, right? And then we have a groups. So group is admin group. For now its value is admin group. Let's create a fresh data, and then we will analyze that. So I'm just writing its value as 92, and then I'm on the test, my first import learning test, right? And password is Hybris2, and of course the value is admin group. So I will be running this Impex, and I will show you how this looks in the HSC, and then I will show you this in the Backoffice as well. So firstly I will be importing this Impex, and then I will be validating, and then I will import this content. So you can see now the data is getting imported, and it will take some time, and you can see now the data has been imported, right? So this is the data, and its unique identifier now you can understand is 00092. So this is HAC, and I have shown you how to do an Impex import, and how can you check the data in the flexible search by making a flexible query. So Hybris provides us another feature of Backoffice. This is also another cockpit, for which I will be giving you a complete KT in my later videos. But for now, just understand this will give you a more detailed view of anything. Like I showed you employee table, but this will give you a more detailed view of employee table. So if I just go to employee and will try to search my my unique thing. So this is the ID, right? So this ID value is 0009, which we have inserted. If I try to search this, you can see the data has been created here, and you can see it has given us a more detailed view of whatever the data is inserted. If you see in the database, so this is the view. Select star from employee, right, where UID is equal to 00092. You can see this is the tabular view of this data, and this is more detailed view. So for now I think you have understood that Backoffice will give you a very detailed view of everything, and it gives you every detail in object form. So you can see this is the ID which I have given, and like the name value I had inserted is Amandeep test, and the same value is here, right? You can see the session language, like in the tabular form we had a value language, value is in the form of pk, but here you can see the value is in the form of object. so the language is English, right? So it show you directly the objective value. Similarly is the group, you can see admin group, and this is the description which I had added in my Impex. So everything is there. And if I go to admin tab, you can see this data, you can see at what time this data was created. So you can see that view as well, and as you can see, this was created on 12th January at 8:22, just 3 minutes before this time, right? So all these details are here, and you can check this. You should install this in your laptop or a computer, and then you should do some testing here. So I was explaining you this append thing. So what I was saying, append means currently this data has group only, admin group, but since I have written the this value as append, it means I can add more groups into it by just writing comma separated. Just remember, always attributes are written by semicolon separated, but if you are writing something multiple values in a single column, then you need to write those things by comma separated. So if I want to add this group as well, so I will be writing this comma separated, and then if I run this Impex, you can see I will go back to Impex portion, and I will be explaining you this feature as well. What is this validate content? So I am just importing this data, and when I am importing this data, and if I refresh this, currently we have only one admin group. Now I am refreshing this, and you can see the second group has also been added. So to add multiple groups or multiple values in a single column, you can say we need to append mode is equal to append. If I am not mentioning this thing here, and if I just write this value, so it will if I just write this value admin group, then it will throw an error, it will not work. So if I try to import this Impex, let's see how it goes, whether it insert these 3 rows at a time or not. Let's see. So what I will do, I will just do Impex import, and then we'll do validate content, and then we'll click on the import content, right? So it will be importing these 3 rows. So firstly it imports this row, then it imports this row, and then the third row, and you can see the data has been inserted in the employee table. So 3 new rows have been created after I did this. So I think now it is fair clear to you what is the use of Impex in our Hybris system. So like in our DB or in our Java, we used to go to MySQL or Oracle DB, and then there we used to directly insert the data by using insert command, right? Insert query. So for doing similar type of operation, we use the Impex here, and this is the syntax of Impex. I have explained you. The first row is header, and then we have values row. There can be multiple values row as well. So this is about a simple example of Impex, and I have also explained you how this data looks like in Backoffice. I have shown you there we have a complete object overview of Impex. So I think now it is clear to you. In case you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try to help you for the same as well, right? So we have one more concept in the Impex, which is related to the macros. So I will be explaining you what is macro. This is also very important concept because this is frequently asked in the interview questions. What is macros in the Impex? So firstly, I will be just taking one example, and then I will be explaining you what is macros. Okay, so let's see the example of macros. So if I have one parameter allow null is equal to false, and if I'm using this parameter at multiple places, what I can do, I can generalize this like my val is equal to, say, currently its value is false, so I will be writing this as true. So it is true, so I will be using this something like this. I will be copying this and I will be using it here. So now it will automatically pick the value as true. So now I will be running this Impex again, and you will see this will also work. So what I will do, I will just do the import content and then valid content, so you can see it is valid, and then I will see whether it is importing the data or not. So you can see it is currently inserting the data and then import finishes successfully. So it means now you understand what the macros means. Macros is usually to generalize a modifier or any value. So this is about macros. Now I will explain you one more thing, what is this validate content means and import content means. So if I'm just writing this in Impex, say, so validate content, what it does, it will just validate the syntax, whether this syntax is right or not. It will not validate the values, but you can see HS is smart enough. If you write this employee 1, so employee 1 table here, and if you try to validate this, and you can see this will throw error because employee 1 table doesn't exist. So this is the meaning of validate. It will just check the syntax and will check like whether this type exists or this attribute exists or not. It will not check whether the value you are inserting is correct or not, right? Like here I am writing unique is equal to true, right? And allow null is equal to, say, I am writing false, right? So it means I am allowing the I'm not allowing the null value of UID. So but I will just keep this as empty, and if I try to validate content, you will see it will show script is valid because it has not validated the data. But when I do import content, at that time it will throw error. So I think now it is clear to you what do you mean by validate content and what do you mean by import content, and the clear content thing is clear to you. I think it will just clear the content over here. So this is about the Impex. So either you can write your Impex lines here, or you can import your import script in the CSV format or in any format. Usually when the business loads lots of data, like lots of products data at runtime, they just load a CSV file to import the bulk data. They just upload a CSV file and insert that data into the Hybris DB. So that is why we do have a file load as well in the Hybris. So this is about the Impex. Now I will give you a simple Impex for inserting a map value. I will not do this practically, but I will just write a simple Impex to insert the multiple maps value in Hybris. So you need to do practice of that in your system. So this is that Impex which I was talking about. Here what is this Impex doing? This is the mode and this is the type. So we are just doing insert update operation in the test data table, and the column name is sample name, and the modifier is unique true, and then we have an address column, right? And the address, how we are saving the values, we are saving the values in the form of key and then value, right? And we can add multiple, right? Like in the address, we have address column. In the address column, we have values like address 1 key and value, then address 2 key and value, address 3 key and value. So address 1 and address 2 will be separated by a delimiter, which is this. So that is why I have used this delimiter. So its value should be like this. So this is the delimiter we are using to separate different of addresses, right? So I am writing the data like this. So this is the sample name is Daniel, and then we have address. So first address is this is the first address line 1 is the key, and then value is 1230 larimeter st. So this is the value, and then we have second address, which is separated of course by a delimiter and pipe value, and this is the second address we are using, and then this is the third address, and then this is the fourth address. So I hope now it is clear to you how to insert map values in a table through an Impex. So I have to tell you one more thing, catalog aware Impex, how to import catalog aware attributes in Impex. So this example I gave you was catalog unaware, because in this example or in this table there was not a single attribute which was catalog aware. So all the attributes were catalog unaware. But you will be wondering, what is this catalog aware and catalog unaware? So I will give you one example. So like we have a product table, okay. So if you go to the product table and we'll try to search the products, I'm trying to search the products. So you can see we have multiple products, but you will see one thing. This is the catalog version. The catalog version can be staged, or you will see some more catalog versions. If I just do a sorting here, or if I just go to say some letter values, you will see its value is online as well. So basically its catalog version is April product catalog online, or its value is April product catalog and stays, right? So basically two values are related to each product. So let's try to say search for this product 300441142. 30011 30044, right? So if I try to search this product, you will see this product has two rows. The one is the stays, and then second one is the online. So if I open the website, I am opening the website which I show you. I think this was, no, we need to check our local.property file. I will be checking my local.property file. So this is the local.property file, and this is the example of store. This is the URL of our storefront. So I will be opening this storefront, and when I open this storefront, you will see we have multiple products in this website, right? So it will take some time, but meanwhile I think it is loading. So if I show you, so if I'm going on this product, right? So this product is basically 30061613166. Let's copy this product and let's try to open this product in Backoffice. So till now you must be aware what this Backoffice does. It will give you more detailed overview of anything. Like now I'm opening this product in Backoffice. So we have two rows. The first row is the stage row and second row is the online row. So guys, whatever you are seeing on the website, so this is corresponding to this online row. So I mean, if you are doing any changes here in this row, it will directly reflect over here, right? So what this row means, stage row means. So guys, um, whenever any business does a change, it doesn't directly do the changes on the online catalog. So this is basically online catalog, this is a stage catalog. So business doesn't do the changes on the online catalog. So business always does the changes in the stage catalog. So once he does the changes in the stage catalog, then he makes a sync between stage and online catalog. And after the business makes a sync, only then those changes gets reflected in the online catalog and on the storefront. So what business actually does, so firstly business makes a change, say in the description, like I am doing a change in the description. I am just right now its value is system T SS royal blue M, right? System T SS royal blue M, right? So I am just changing its value as royal M1, and I am on the stage catalog, right? So I will be doing save. If I am making should not be empty. Okay, I'm just doing it. Right, so I have saved this, and if I just try to refresh this, you will see there will be no change in the system TSS royal blue M, because we have done the change in the stage catalog. But how these changes will propagate to online catalog? So when I will sync this catalog, stage catalog, with the online catalog, at that time these changes will get reflected in the online catalog. So how to sync? We have this synchronize button. I will be just synchronizing this. So I will be just selecting from where to where, like I'm syncing from stage to online, and will click on the sync button. So once I click on the sync button, automatically in some time this value will propagate to the online catalog. Let's check in the online catalog. Let's see. You can see now the value has been propagated to online catalog, and let's see whether change has been reflected to, yeah, now the changes has been reflected to storefront as well. So now you understand better, like in some tables, like in the product table, product table is a catalog aware table. Here we have two catalogs, one is the stage and the online. So business makes a change in the stage catalog, and then he does a sync, and then those changes get reflected to online catalog, and then those changes get reflected on the website as well. So this is the cool feature which I have explained to you, and that is why I was saying Hybris. In the Hybris we have flexibility to do the changes at runtime. We can just do the changes at in backend, and then those changes get reflected in the online catalog. Now a question must be arising, why we are doing this, why we are not making a change in the online catalog directly? Because if I make a change in the online catalog directly, so this is my online catalog, if I am doing a change in online catalog directly, and of course these changes will get reflected at storefront immediately, right? M2 value has been reflected immediately. So what is the need of this stage catalog? So guys, the need of this stage catalog is to minimize the errors on the storefront. So firstly, business does the changes on the stage catalog, then someone reviews those changes, and once the changes are reviewed and approved, only then those changes are pushed to the online catalog, and then those changes are reflected to the storefront. So I hope now you are aware, or you understand well, the concept of catalogs in Hybris. So there are two type of tables, or you can see types in Hybris. One is the catalog aware, or second one is the catalog unaware. Like product table is a catalog aware table, right? Or product type is a catalog aware type, right? And like I shown you, This employee type is catalog unaware type. So how to import data in the catalog aware type? Like if I want to insert data in the product table, how will I do? So let's take an example for a catalog aware Impex. So guys, this is the example of catalog aware Impex. So you can see I have created three catalogs, three macros. One is the product catalog macro, second is the product catalog name macro, and third is catalog version macro. So like product catalog name macro, its value is just April product catalog. Then we have a catalog version. So in the catalog version, what this thing is done, so basically this catalog version has a catalog version is a object of catalog version which has two mandatory attributes. One is the catalog and second one is the version. And catalog value by default, its value is product catalog macro, which is April product catalog, and the version value by default is stage, right? And this is modifier, its value should be unique is equal to true, and default should be the default April product catalog, its value should be stage, right? So I mean, with the practice you will understand or will get familiar with these terms more and more, but for now just record my words like how we describe these things. So this is base product macro. It is of type base product, which has two mandatory attributes which we need to declare: code and then catalog version. This is again an object type of catalog which has two mandatory attributes: id and then version. id default value is this product catalog. Product catalog means April product catalog. So I will be defining all these things. And then this is a approved macro. It is again a type of approval status, and here I am mentioning the code as value, right? I have already told you what this bracket means. So this is example of catalog aware Impex import. If I am just importing this Impex, and what it does, so basically this is insert update operation on April product table, which is a catalog aware table, and the code is unique, is value is 32009, which I am going to insert, which means I am going to insert a product with code value as 32009, and then the catalog version values, of course I have defined above. Catalog version which I will be used is the April product catalog with stage version, right? And then so its value is right, I am writing macro here, that is why its value is empty here. Then we have a unit is unit code, right? So why I have written in this type of bracket, because this is referring object, unit is referring object, and we are mentioning the code value is pieces, right? And then we have super categories. Super category is, we have mentioned two type of, so it should be these are the two categories, super categories we have mentioned, clothes and POW. And then we have variant type, which its value is empty. And then we have approved is macro, that is why again its value is empty here. And then its en is, I think, European article number, its value is this 31313. And then just genders is again an object, and its code value is male. So I'm trying to import this Impex. Let's see if this Impex is getting imported or not. Guys, this video is a bit lengthy, but I think it is very useful for you guys. It has covered every aspect of Impex. You won't need to check other URLs on the website, and it is encountering error. So why it is encountering error, this will also be very interesting to debug. So you can see it is throwing an error on the super categories. See, it cannot resolve the clothes and POW4 attributes. So let's check whether we have these super categories in our system or not. So how we will check? I will go to Backoffice, and in the type I will be explaining you this, what is this type, but for now just and then I have a table, not table, but I will be writing like this, categories, and then catalog version is April product, and then stage, right? So catalog version, just go to categories directly. Okay, April product catalog. So if I try to search here, multiple things are here. And what is the category? We had category, right? Clothes. We were inserting the same thing, clothes, and then POW. Let's see if it exists or not. Yes, it exists. The cloth exists and the POW exists, but the difference is clothes less small. It starts with the small c, and we are inserting the capital C. That is why it is throwing error. Let's correct it and let's try to run it again. Let's see if it works or not, or if we have any other error in our system, in our Impex or not. Let's try to validate this. Now you're aware what is this validate content means. Now if I just import this, I think it is just inserting the data into the HSQLDB, and I think import is successful. So what we have done here, we have inserted a new row in the April product table. If I just go to the April product table, how I will go, I will just write in types, I think this is a spelling, yeah, this is the spelling name. And in case if I just try to search, my data value was 32009, right? Let's see if it is inserted here or not. 32009, yes, this data is there. So it means, and the catalog version we had inserted is Apple product catalog stage. Apple product catalog, and the version is stage we had used. That is why this entry is there. So I think now you are well aware how to do import catalog for the catalog aware attributes. So this is one thing. Now we are left with only one topic in the Impex, and believe me, if you understand these topics, there will not be any topic left in the Impex concepts. So the last concept is, so guys, like I show you one table. See, this is a category, where it is, yeah, it is here. So this is a category table, right? So we can see we have multiple data here. If I show you in the HAC, so we have select star from categories. I'm just doing a select statement, which we usually do in SQL as well. Case, so it should be category. So you can see we have, huge data here, right? So if I want to do, if I want to export this data, is it possible in the Hybris? Because sometimes you need to take backup of this data, right? For any purpose you need the backup of this whole table. How you will do? So this is very important concept, and it is frequently asked in the interviews, as well as it is used frequently in your daily work as well. So how you will do? For that we have console Impex export, right? So this is a feature through which you can export a data. But for that, how will you export the data? You need to write something, right? So how will you do that? So for that we need to go to Backoffice, and then there we need we have something like this feature in our system. So what I have done, I have just gone to Backoffice. Here I have just written script, and once I wrote the script, this option came up. Once I opened this option, So this is already a script type is migration. Of course I am using this script for the migration purpose. And when I click on the generate, so what it does, it will generate a script for doing the backup of all tables in this DB. So I will be just copying this script over here. I have just copied this, but I don't want to take the backup of whole database. I want to just take the backup of category table, right? So I will be just searching my script. So this is my script. So I will be just running this script, right? So you can see I am just running the script in the HSC. Let's load it again. No, it's not getting loaded. Let's try it another tab. Yeah, now it is loaded. So I am in the console, Impex export, and then I will be just writing. Oh, I will be copying it again. Then I will be just pasting this Impex again. So this is my Impex. I will be just doing validate content. It is successful, and when I click on the export content, there will be a link over here. So I am just doing the export. You can see this is the link, and if I click on that link, a zip file start downloading in my system. So this is the backup. It will take some time, so I have just done a single click and I'm just waiting. So automatically load will start. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. Firstly it will gather the data and then the load will start. So let's wait for that. It will be taking some time. So now you can see after some time the zip has been exported to my system. I will be just going to this zip. I will be just exporting to this zip. Always use 7-zip to export any type of data. So data has been exported, and you can see it has exported 2 things. One is the script which I use to export this data, and the second one is category. This is the CSV table, and it contains the complete data of this table, right? So you can see the all data has been exported now. And guys, one more thing, if you want to re-import this data, if I want to re-import this data in some other database, say I will just need to run this Impex. I will just need to import this Impex in my system, something like this. I will be doing console and then Impex import, and here I will be writing Impex script, and I will be firstly doing the choose file, and I will be putting my URL here, and I will be doing import. And now if I write here import file, automatically the data will get loaded to our database. So this is all about the Impex import and Impex export. So I think the video is a bit lengthy, but all the concepts are explained in detail to you. Hope it resolves all queries related to Impex. And in case you have any queries, please do a comment in the comment section of this video. And in case you have any doubts, you can ping me on my email ID as well. The email ID is hybris@gmail.com. And thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please share this with your friends as well. Thanks. Bye.